Yeah, come in. Maybe here.
Yeah.
You must be James, are you?
Yeah, I'm
Hi,
James.
James. I'm Jason.
Yeah,
How are you
nice to
today?
meet you,
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Have a seat, please.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, I'll just start off with a bit of admin first, thanks.
Okay.
I've got a record of attendance sheet here if you don't. Have you got a pen?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. If you could just fill out that for us, please, that would be great.
Alright.
Thank you.
Do I need to do all this part of it as well?
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Yep, that's
Thank
all I need
you.
for now. What I'll do is I'll just take that away.
Yeah.
I've got some other things for you there as well.
Yeah.
I've got an activity sheet, but we'll do that later. So I'll just put that to the side for now.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll need that later. And that's just an evaluation form which we'll look at as well. So thanks for that, James.
That's alright.
All right. Well, while you're here today,
Yeah.
I have been asked by your supervisor to just provide some additional training to the team. I've done 4 of the team already.
Okay.
He just asked me to come back and provide some additional training to 2 other people, yourself included. And this is just going to be a shorter, around about a 30-minute session, just looking at some safety topics around in the workplace itself. I understand you probably might be a little bit familiar with some of these concepts.
Little bit, yes.
Yeah, that's
Little
good.
bit
Yeah,
familiar
and
with
that's
some of it.
and he explained that to me, so we'll just go
Yeah.
through that today. And by all means, yeah, if you've got any questions, well, we'll work through those as well. A little bit about myself. I've been in training for 8 years, mostly dealing with workplace health and safety, delivering training to organisations like yourself, and also within the mining sector. I'm heavily focused now in railway operations and also looking at the safety aspects, delivering safety training around rail and also operational standards for rail as well. So, yeah, I've had a fair bit of exposure to a lot of industry over the last 8 years, and I'm always willing to learn. So it's another great session to even learn from yourself and someone that is working in a call centre, like I did with the other team members as well. So I really appreciated that. Why don't you tell me just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, as you already know, my name is James Kelly.
Yes.
And I've been working at the call center for just over 10 years.
Okay.
I started working there as a call operator, but over the period of time, I've become the duty team leader now. And I got no formal training in this area.
Yeah.
But because of the time I stayed there, I've been promoted to the duty team leader now. My background in school is that I just finished year 10
Okay.
and got into the workforce
Yep.
and started working there. So I don't have formal training or something like that. I struggle with actually learning new stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like new skills and stuff like that.
Okay.
I struggle with it.
Yep.
But if I stay long in a particular area, I tend to grasp it over a period of time.
Okay.
But it's not something that comes to me right away. So sometimes I do struggle. So over the period of time, that's how I got the duty leader,
Yep.
team leader position.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to computer skills and stuff like that, I don't have that much computer skills. The Google application, I got the basic skills in the Google application, like the Google Sheet.
Yep.
But other than that, I don't do very well with the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
And
Yeah.
I must point out to you that just about a year ago, I fell and had an accident and broke my arm.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Nasty.
okay. It's okay,
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Normal things. My right arm is my dominant arm.
Okay.
And that's the one that got broken.
Okay.
But it's all healed. But I still have problems if I have to write over a long period of time.
Yeah.
I tend to get tired very quickly we're doing that. And if I'm doing anything physical, after about 20 minutes or so, I need to take a break
Okay.
to get it going.
No problem.
Other than that, I think I'll be all right for the course.
James, thanks so much for sharing that with me. I've got a really good understanding of your experience now in the company and you as well as an individual, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
A couple of things I'll touch on there is well done in getting promoted within the organisation. That's fantastic. I think that some of the points we'll talk about today will help you to do that. As far as, like you talked about your schooling and understanding concepts and that, it is a 30-minute session, so there is a bit jammed into it. The thing is, I will provide all the necessary resources and information to your company, so if you need to, you can research that in your own time, and even back through your supervisor, reach out to me. If you need that additional support, well, we can do that. That's not a problem.
Right,
Today, though, we won't be looking, there's no computer work or anything like that. And again, if you need assistance in finding things, we can work with you guys to assist with that. And writing, what we'll actually do in that case then, I do have an assessment there. I might have got you to write down a couple of things, but we can just verbalise it anyway. And I can assess if you're understanding the concepts and that. Let me know though if that does bother you during the session with your arm there, and we might modify something and work on it that way itself. So, yeah. Look, but again, I appreciate you sharing all that with me. It's fantastic and good to know you. So, without further ado, I might get stuck into the session itself and we'll see where it takes us. So the first thing we're just going to go through is our general housekeeping. So thanks for filling out the attendance sheet today. Appreciate that. If there's an issue, we'll need to evacuate the building. Now, you've worked here a lot longer than I've only been here for 5 minutes, so what I'll do is, under that circumstance, I will follow your instructions if we need to get out of this building here, if anything happens there. Safety-wise, though, I've made sure that I've removed as many hazards from around us as well, which is a nice segue to what we're going to be talking about today. But if you do spot something, please let me know. Do you need a drink or anything like that?
No, for now.
We're good? Yeah, you had some lunch? Yeah, fantastic. Mobile phones, just make sure that your mobile phone is switched off at the moment, yes. Unless, if something important you think you're going to get a call, let me know. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Vibration for a moment.
Yeah. And if you need to take that call, I fully understand, that's no problem. Thank you. Respect and equality, and talking about individuals as well. So, look, it's just you and I today, and I'm sure that we will both show each other the respect for each other as well. So, and it's an open house today as far as if you've got any questions you need to ask or anything like that, then we can just stop and chat about it as we work through. Individual, so I've got an individual background with my work history and my lifestyle and culture and everything like that. You might have the same as well. And again, we just need to be respectful of that, and which leads to working together with teamwork. My ultimate goal today is that you walk out of here today with the understanding of this training session. Okay? How's that sound?
That sounds
good.
good.
Fantastic. Thanks, James. All right. What are the objectives today? First thing we're going to be looking at is understand how to identify hazards in the workplace. Where does this word hazard come from? And also then how to understand and assess those hazards and how we're going to control them. And that's around risk management in the workplace as well. The session's also going to look at legislation. We're just going to have a brief overview of legislation, which is the requirement for us to do certain things in the workplace. You could say that's the big stick. That's the government's big stick to say that you must do things safely in the workplace. Otherwise, we will apply penalties up to including imprisonment and monetary fines as well. It's all about making sure that people are safe. Hazard identification and risk management, and that's probably not a bad little picture there. It's just about getting that balance right. If you can't eliminate the hazard, you need to get that balance right with the hazards and the risks in the workplace and what control measures you're going to put in place to protect your workers. So you mentioned before that you are now in a team leader role. Yeah, so as you step up and start becoming responsible for people in the workplace, your duties do increase as well. So you have responsibilities for those people as well, and we'll talk about that in a little second. Thanks. So duty of care, have you ever heard of that term, duty of care?
Yes, I've heard of duty
Oh,
of
okay.
care.
Yep. What do you think? What's duty of care mean to you?
Well, duty of care, I would just put it in a nutshell, is to make sure that you look after the safety of yourself as an individual, and you look after the safety of the people around you.
Yes.
Individually, that's the main duty of care of an individual, to look after their own safety and the safety of other people. That goes with wearing appropriate PPE, making sure that you follow rules and regulations within the workplace, report hazards as you see it, correct it and stuff like that. And the employer has a duty of care towards his employees as well.
Yes.
And his main duty of care would be to actually provide a safe working environment for his workers. And in doing so, he will provide training, he will provide PPE, he will provide tools and equipment and supervision. Those are just basic.
You are ticking all the boxes there, which is great, which tells me that you've got a really good grounding and understanding of applying work health and safety in the workplace, which is fantastic. So I think you've got a really good understanding of duty of care. So let's just have a look what it says here. You mentioned employers, which is great. So do you want, and don't forget, this is just a brief overview and a snapshot. The duty of employers, they've got to ensure they have safe systems of work in the workplace. They also need to assess risks and control them. So what do a safe system of work? Now, just to give you an example of that, and I don't know if you're exposed to it or not, but if you were to operate a forklift in a warehouse, an employer must put together procedures to say how to operate that forklift in the workplace and make sure it's done safely. That would fall under the safe system of work. Also incorporated into that would be the supervision and the training that goes with it as well, but all of that would be a safe system of work to ensure that the employee is safe while they operate that. That's a duty that the employer has. Assessing risks and controlling is part of that process when they're putting those procedures together. And they were things like, yes, what training is the employee going to receive? What conditions do they operate the forklift under? They must wear a seat belt as well. What other controls need to be in place to protect other workers in it? So that's just an example of how those two work together there. But that's the employer's responsibility from an overarching look at things. As you mentioned as well, employees have duties. So just on the employers though, who do you, in your mind, who are employers?
Well, the employer will be, according to the work health and safety regulations, the employer will be the person conducting business and undertaking.
PCBU, you've heard of that before, fantastic.
That would be an employer, or you could have an individual employer who runs a business and employ people to work within the business. That's how I look at what an employer is.
So the law, and that's what I'm talking about here, this is the big stick side of things that holds you accountable for your actions. They have different terms for employers. Person conducting a business or undertaking, persons who have control or management control of a workplace, officers as well, so they're people that have an influence in the workplace and how it's run. So there are many employers, but if you're talking to your team, you can just say it's the boss, just so they get an understanding who that is in the workplace. And the other one is employees. So let's have a look at that. Take reasonable care for your own health and safety and that of others. And it's exactly what you mentioned before as one of the duties of care. Ensure what you do, which is an action, or don't do is an omission, doesn't hurt people. We'll get back to that. Follow, so far as they're reasonably practical, reasonably able to do, any reasonable instruction. So acts and omissions you can also be held responsible under the law as well. So an act is, I go and do something that's negligent and someone is put at risk or harm, you can be charged for that. If you see something that could cause risk or harm to someone and you don't do anything about it, and it's known, then you can also be held accountable for that. So if you see an electrical cable that's in poor condition and you allow it to still be used in the workplace, then you can be held accountable for that. When it comes to instructions, A reasonable instruction would be if you were using a chemical, you must wear the appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, to protect yourself. So maybe a mask or something like that. What would be unreasonable is for them to say, oh, when you use that chemical and open it, just stop breathing so it doesn't get into your lungs. You know, that's an unreasonable request. So there are certain things out there, and it's getting that balance right as well. And all of this sort of information about what you need to do to keep safe is found in the Safe System of Work. Okay, so you're expected to read and understand that, and then apply that in the workplace. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Good. Identifying hazards in the workplace. In most workplaces, your employer or supervisor would have already identified and assessed hazards in the workplace, and they would put in place those procedures to try and protect you. However, that employer might not be exposed to those workplaces all the time, but the workers are. So what this is talking about now is that you have a duty of care to also continuously monitor in the workplace, look for hazards, and if you identify them, what are we going to do about it? So as a worker, and even though you're in a team leader position, you're also a worker as well, and you want to look after the people in your team. You need to know how to identify workplace hazards and associated risks, implement the recommended controls, and report health and safety concerns. It's really, really good that and I believe your company does have a system of hazard reporting, which is fantastic, because what you want to be able to do is refer back to what was done for a hazard in the past to see if it's been controlled, has it been raised or whatever, but it also does demonstrate a safety culture within an organisation. What somebody wants, if the regulator who looks after the law wants to come along and audit you to see how you adopt managing hazards in the workplace as well. So let's just have a look at some of the common hazards you might find in your workplace. So let's look at manual tasks. Tasks involving sustained or awkward postures, high or sudden force, repetitive movements or vibration. So when you go back into your workplace and you're doing your hazard hunts or whatever you call them in there, these are the things you need to be looking at as far as your workers are doing there.